to the third session. Welcome to the third synchronous session of our online bridge mathematics. And for this session, we will be, of course, discussing topics related to math. I think yung isang session is on statistics and the other one is on, I'm sorry, ano yung isa? Isa session na 6, Sir Eric,
Functions po,
our
ma'am.
discussion. Fractions?
Functions
Yeah.
po.
Functions, sorry, functions. So, before anything else, check-in lang muna tayo sa ating mga participants. Can you give us any emoji to show your status for today? Yan, mga puso. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng puso? In love? So, okay. Thumbs up. Yan. 30. Dumadami na yung mga participants natin. Meron kakaibang reaction dito. Ano ba ito? Confounded. Yan. Thank you for your emojis. And now siguro tingnan din natin kung galing ba sa anong lugar ang ating mga participants. Can you type in the comment box your location so that we can recognize our participants? Kung para ma-check din kung ayan, Leyte. Wow. Hello sa mga taga Leyte, Taguig, good morning. May Kawayan, Bulacan. Makulimlim na umaga from Los Baños, Laguna, Sir Ray. Quezon City, Batak. Okay. Ito, siguro estudyante namin to from Batak. Butuan City. Yan. Diyan na, pumasok na yung mga taga-Batak. Meron pa ba? Just to check if our comment box is okay. Kung sakaling may mga questions kayo later. City of Batak, Falcons. Oh, from our school din ito. So, location. From Albay. Good morning from the land of majestic and almost perfect cone-shaped volcano. Our facilitator for today, Sir Eric, is from Albay. Good morning po, sir. Meron pa ba? Going once? Going twice? So, 43 participants. Sana marami pa ang makahabol sa ating synchronous session. Baliwag, Bulacan. Ayan. Hello po. Good morning. Ayan. So, sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas, from Luzon to Mindanao, ang location ng ating mga participants. Kung ready na ang lahat, introduce na natin ang magpa-facilitate ng ating icebreaker. May we call on Sir JM? Ready na po ba? So, pakishare na lang po yung ating icebreaker dito sa screen. Ay, wala po si Sir JM. Sino po ang magpapa-icebreaker, sir? Okay, proceed na tayo sa lecture. Thank you so much, Sir Ray, for that prompt. Before we proceed with the lecture, I would like to introduce our facilitator for today. He is a volunteer course coordinator for Bridge Mathematics program since this year. No? Nagkaroon tayo early this year ng isang Bridge Math program around January to March 2025. He studied BSE Physical Science and had an MA in Physics Education at CBSUA, Pili, and Bicol University, respectively, a consistent DOST scholar. He also has experience in teaching both chemistry and physics in the tertiary level at UST Legazpi. He is excited to share his knowledge, of course, in math today. And so we welcome, I give you Sir Eric Alina. Sir,
Hello po, good morning. Ayan,
morning, sir.
opo, ayan. Naka-focus na sa akin. Sige po. So let me share my screen po para ipakita ko na yung aking setup. Ayan. Can you see ano po, the presentation slide? Just to confirm.
Yes, sir.
Ayan po. Right, thank you very much for the confirmation. And may I know also if I'm audible po sa end nyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you very much po. All right, so for this morning, I'm going to talk about module 6 and 7, particularly on the concepts of functions, data analysis, statistics, and probability. Okay, so let's start with the first module, which is the module 6. So by the way, I'm Eric De Alina, one of the course coordinators of the Bridge Physics and as well as the Bridge Math programs of the UPOU Pahinungod. Okay. For this module, so here are our learning objectives. At the end of this session, you must be able to define a function and its related terms, distinguish the difference among types of functions, identify domain and range of functions, evaluate functions, and perform mathematical operations, particularly addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as well as a composition in the nature of functions. Okay. I hope ready na po ang ating mga participants. So let's start with the first topic, introduction to functions. All right, so what are mathematical functions? So actually in mathematics, it is evident na nagkakaroon tayo ng mga variables which could have relationships. Okay? So two variables or two or more variables could form relationships and we call them functions. So a function is a means by which quantitative relationships can be expressed using mathematical expression. So since this is math, so we're going to use symbols, letters or numbers to express these relationships in functions. So when we say relationship or relation, it is actually a set of ordered pairs in mathematics. So the set of all x's or first coordinates is called the domain. So may mga terminology type pong ginagamit. While all y's or the second coordinates are called the range. So basically, ang sinasabi lang naman dito, yung collection ng inyong mga x values ay tinatawag na domain, and then collection of your y values ay tinatawag naman na range. So the given set here, so we have here the domain. For example, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then for range, we have A, B, C, and D. And as you can see here, merong naka-indicate na arrow wherein 1 is related to A, 2 is related to C, 3 is related to B, and then 4 is related to D. So meron silang mga relation. So we can say that the domain are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the range are A, B, C, and D. So if we're going to siguro enumerate or express the domain, so we can use this notation using a brace. So open close brace 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then same with the range A, B, C, and D. Okay, or you may also express them as a set of data points. So 1A, 2C, 3B, and then 4D. So dapat po magsusulat tayo, we start with the X and then to be followed by the Y. Right. So a function is a special kind of relation. It is a relation in which for every value of X, there must be a unique value or there is a unique value of Y. So it means that the element in the domain does not repeat. So, ganun, that's how we define a function. So, sa madaling salita, kapag sinabing function, there must be a non-repeating value of x. Okay? So, yun lang naman. So, dapat yung domain natin or the set of x values ay hindi siya repeating. But of course, for our range, for the set of y values, it's okay to have the repeating values. So, sige, let's identify if which of the following sets of data or numbers ay matatawag natin na function. So let's start with this one. So f equals these sets of values, x and y values. So we have 0, 1, 2, -5, 4, -9, and then 6, -13. Now the question is this a function or not? So sabi natin dapat ang domain ay hindi repeating. So in this case, ano yung domain natin? So maybe I could use notation na lang na D. Okay, D. So D. So ang domain natin ay 0, 2, 4, and then 6. While for the range, so I may use R siguro to represent the range. So we have 1, -5, -9, and then -13. Okay, so hiniwalay ko lang no yung domain tapos yung range. So now, in this first function, can we say na ito ba ay sorry, in this first set of numbers or data points, can we say po na ito ba ay function or hindi? Okay, may I have some responses from our participants. Masasabi ba natin siyang function? Okay, so titingnan mo lang naman ay yung pinakamadaling way para malaman mo is to take a look at the domain. So here, wala naman tayong repeating values. So each value is unique. We have 0, 2, 4, and 6. Therefore, this one is a function. Okay, thank you very much for the responses, April, John, and Bernard. And Bernard Walter. Yeah, thank you sa responses. Now let's proceed to this table. So you have here x values 1, 1, and 1. Sorry. And then set of y values, we have a, b, and c. So for the value of x, which is 1, ang y natin is a. And then we have another value, x value 1, and then ang y value is b. And then same value of x na 1, and then the y value is c. Now, is this a function or not? Okay, so hindi po siya function since we have repeating x values or sa domain. Okay, next, what about these relations? Dito tayo sa first okay, dito tayo sa first set of values muna. So we have input and then output. So we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then these are the outputs, -2, 1, 2, and 4. Now, is this a function or not? Okay, bakit kaya siya nasabi na hindi function? Okay, why can we consider this as a function? Because if we're going to enumerate the data points, so we have 0, -2, we have 0, and then 1. So, meron tayong repeating x values, giving unique values of y. So, may repeating sa ating domain. So, sige, tapusin natin. For 1, we have 2. Okay. For 2, we have 1. And then for 3, we have 4. Okay, so ito yung sets of x and y values natin. So, meron tayong repeating na 0. What about the second relation? Proceed naman tayo dito. So we have the so, so we have okay, 1:D, so 1D, 2B, 3A, and then we have 4A. Okay, now is this a function or not? Okay, yung dito sa part na to. So in this case, okay, so we can say that this one is a function because um, non-repeating yung ating mga x values. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Though mapapansin natin sa y values merong na-repeat na a, so hindi naman po siya yung basis for us to know if our data values or sets of values ay function. I hope it's clear for everyone. So actually, we have tests that can be adapt in order for us to identify if yung function natin ay if yung given expression ay function or hindi. Okay, so may mga cases kasi sa math na wherein you will be given expressions or equations. Sorry, let me. Ayan, si Haring Araw biglang nag-visit. Anyway, okay. So let's go back to this topic. Okay, so vertical line test. Dito naman po, this one is a very useful method for us to identify if yung given expression ay function or hindi. So, again, sa math, may mga problems na kung saan ang binibigay ay expression or equation o kaya naman yung graph mismo lang. Okay? So, because ang function natin may be represented through a graph. Okay? So, simple lang naman yung vertical line test. You're just going to draw a vertical line. So, i-make sure mo na dapat nag-intersect siya dun sa iyong graph. And then kapag nag-intersect siya at one point, then we can say that that expression or equation is a function. So, take note of this comparison. All functions are considered relations, but not all relations are functions. Okay? So let's try using vertical line test. So let's start with the first graph. So we have here, merong given na equation, f of x. Okay, so if we're going to represent po ang mga functions natin, so we may use this notation, yung f of x, or actually this is equal to y. No? So f of x, ito yung ginagamit na notation usually kasi it's like inputting, di ba? Inputting the value of x on your function. So, for example, f of x or pwedeng f of 2, f of 4. So, depende sa kung ano yung x value na i-input mo dun sa function. Okay? Now here, sa vertical line test, so we have a graph of your quadratic equation, negative x squared minus 2x plus 3. Okay. So, if we're going to draw a vertical line, so try natin mag-draw ng vertical line, yan, or anywhere sa graph niya. Okay. So, ano mapapansin nyo sa intersection for quadratic equation? So, can we say that quadratic equations are functions? Okay, so for example, nag-draw tayo ng line dito, right? So, papansinin nyo, nag-intersect lang siya sa tig-isang point sa kada vertical lines. So, we can say that quadratic equations are function. Okay, so, function po siya. What about this one? Okay. So, we have this graph, So, yan po. So, we have two graphs. Okay, so pag mag-draw tayo ng vertical line, yan is equation 2 daw, and then this one is for equation 1. So here, okay, yung vertical line natin, nag-intersect siya sa dalawang points nung graph for equation 2. Same with equation 1, so 2 points then. So we can say that this one is not a function. So not a function. Okay? What about this one? So actually same lang din dito sa graph natin. So 2 points. So not a function. What about this graph? I believe this is a cosine. A cosine graph. Since nag-start siya here. Okay? So in this example, so we can say that cosine is a function. Kasi nag-intersect lang sa isang point, yung ating vertical line. Okay? Okay, what about this one? I think this one is for absolute value. Absolute value graph. Okay, is this a function or not? Based sa kanyang graph and the line. Anyone po could answer? Are you still there? Are you okay? Ayan, parang ano ata. I hope nakikinig pa ang ating mga participants. Okay, function then. According to April, Jan, and Cutely Ann, and si Dwight. Okay, so function. So thank you very much for the responses. So function din siya because, again, single intersection. What about this circle graph? Okay, so two intersections, so definitely not a function. Okay, what about this logarithmic graph? Okay, thank you, Ryle. Okay, not a function din yung sa circle. Ayan. What about logarithmic graph? Ayan, so, okay. So, it's a function. So, that's why tinatawag na siyang logarithmic function. Alright, so I hope clear na sa atin yung vertical line test. Now, let's now proceed to the different types of functions. So, actually, nabanggit ko na din yung iba sa mga types na yun. So, let's start with the linear function. So, a linear function is a polynomial function with a degree of 1. It means that the highest degree of the term is 1. Okay? It's written as f of x equals mx plus b, where m and b are real numbers, and m and f of x are not equal to 0. So, its graph is a line. So, babalikan nyo yung sa concepts ng linear equation. So, it's just the same with a linear function. Okay? So, di ba ang general formula natin for linear equation is y equals mx plus b. So, yung y, we can replace it with the notation f of x, okay, equals mx plus b, wherein m represents the slope of the line, and then yung b is the y-intercept of the line. So, they must be real numbers. And of course, the slope and the y value must not be equal to 0. Okay, so let's have a sample word problem here. Okay, if you will buy an egg in a delivery store, its price is 7 pesos per egg plus 20 pesos delivery fee. Suppose Maria buys 10 eggs. Okay, how much will she pay? Okay, so in this word problem, we can actually create or devise a linear function para ma-solve natin itong problem. Okay, so let's use blue yan. So to represent this as a function, so you take note of course of the values na mention. So sabi dito 7 pesos per egg. Okay? So yung egg natin is our variable. Okay, so nakadepende sa kung ilan yung egg, 'di ba? Nakadepende sa number of eggs yung magiging total amount, right? So we can say that our function is f of x equals, um, sige, lagay natin yung peso or kahit 7 na lang, 7x. Okay? And then, may nakalagay pa ditong additional information which is plus 20. Okay, plus 20 delivery fee. So, sa function natin, pwede tayong maglagay ng plus 20. Okay? So, f of x equals 7x plus 20. Wherein, x represents the number of eggs. So, sa problem, sabi dito, suppose Maria buys 10 eggs. So, ilan na yung magiging total amount na babayaran niya? So, to solve this problem, so we need to um, substitute the value of x or x with the value of 10. Kasi yung x nga is the number of eggs. So f of 10 equals 7 times 10 plus 20. So 70 plus 20. So f of 10 equals 90. So therefore, 90 pesos yung total amount na babayaran ni Maria for 10 eggs. Okay? So I hope it's clear for everyone. So medyo madali naman yung sa linear function. Okay, so dapat ano lang, marunong kayong mag-convert ng statements to mathematical expressions. Okay? Okay, let's start with the next type. We have the quadratic function. A quadratic function is a polynomial function with a degree of 2. So bakit siya tinawag, by the way, sa linear function, bakit pala siya tinawag na first degree? Okay, first degree function. Na yung linear function natin. Sige, anyone from our participants? So bakit yung linear function ay tinatawag na first degree? Okay, very good. So because sa ating equation or expression, wala tayong makikitang exponent na 2 or greater. So ang exponent ng mga variable natin, like x, ay 1 lang yung kanyang exponent. Meanwhile, for quadratic function, ang highest degree exponent natin or exponent ay 2. So second degree function siya. So it is defined as f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And its graph is parabolic, okay, or a parabola. So examples ng mga quadratic function natin ay f of x equals x squared plus 4, or ito ding isa, y equals 3x squared minus 10. So ganito yung template natin. So ax squared plus bx plus c. So that is for the quadratic function. So same din po sa pagkuha ng solutions or ng roots, 'di ba? Quadratic roots. So you may also apply it here sa ating quadratic functions. So you may set the f of x to the value of 0 siguro in order for you to get the value of x's. Okay? All right. Next, we have the constant function. So constant function is a linear function defined as f of x equals c, where c is a constant term. So numerical value only without a variable. And its graph is horizontal line. So as you can see here, so we have the graph 0, c. Okay, so meron tayong constant, meron tayong ditong constant value. Okay, na c. So ang graph natin ay horizontal line. So in our function, we cannot see any variable or any letters sa ating equation. Example, we have f of x equals 4 or y equals negative 10. Next, we have the identity function. Okay. An identity function is a linear function where y or f of x is equal to x. So kung ano yung value ng x, yun din mismo yung value ng y or ng iyong f of x. And its graph is a line. The example ng constant function is f of x equals x. Or simply y is equal to x. Okay, next, we have the absolute value function. An absolute value function is a function where the x value is found inside the absolute value bars. So since it is an absolute value, then the value of x is always positive. And its graph is in a V form. So as you can see here, doon sa vertical line test natin kanina, ayan. So ganyan yung kanyang graph. So it could be downwards, directed downwards, o kaya naman upwards. Okay? So examples of an absolute value function, we have f of x equals the absolute value of x plus 4, or another example, f of x equals the absolute value of 2x minus 10. So here, inside the absolute value bar, so of course you can have negative values inside, pero kapag meron na tayong absolute value bar, so laging positive dapat yung magiging result or outcome. Okay? Next, we have the rational function. A rational function is defined by the equation f of x equals g of x over h of x. So, ano siya? Pwede siyang quotient. Okay? Or kaya nga siya tinawag na rational or ratio. Ratio or the quotient of two functions. So, it could be monomial, binomial, or polynomial functions. Examples of a rational function are f of x equals x plus 5 over x minus 5. And then we also have f of x equals 4 over x. Now, sa rational function ba, can we integrate here quadratic function? So, pwede ba tayo maglagay dito ng quadratic? Kunyari, yung sa numerator, linear. And then sa denominator, quadratic. Pwede ba yon? Anyone? Okay, so of course, so pwede po yun. So you may have that as your rational function. But of course, may mga conditions lang na siniset, no? Wherein, of course, the value of the denominator must not be equal to 0. So that the value of f of x is not undefined. Okay? Next, we have the exponential function. An exponential function is defined by the equation f of x equals a over x, where the variable is in the exponent and a is not equal to 1. So its graph is asymptotic to a horizontal line. So meron tayong horizontal asymptote for exponential function, as you can see in this graph. And isa pa sa condition, dapat yung base natin ay hindi equal sa 1. Okay? Kasi kapag equal siya sa 1, then we can have same values for f of x, which is equal to 1. So, mag-iiba na yung type ng function natin. That would be a constant value function. Okay? So, dapat sa exponential, we have different values for, a different value for a, which is not equal to 1. Example, we have 2 raised to x, or 2 to the power of x, or 5 raised to x plus 2. So these are examples of exponential function. Now we have logarithmic function. A logarithmic function is the inverse of an exponential function. It is defined by the equation f of x equals logarithm of x with b as your base. Okay? Where b must not be, or b is greater than or equal to 0 and b is not equal to 1. So sa logarithmic function naman, it has a vertical asymptote. So actually, ang exponential function natin is actually the inverse of your logarithmic function. Or logarithmic function is the inverse of your exponential function. Okay? Kasi ito, for example, yung so example dito, yung f of x equals log x with 5 as our base. So pwede mo siyang gawing exponential function. So 5, okay? Sige, wag na muna tuloy. Para hindi nakakalito, ano? So, proceed na muna tayo sa logarithmic. So, logarithmic, ito lang naman po. So, meron tayong 5 na base. Same with this one. So, f of x equals 2 plus log x with a base of 3. So, pwede mo po itong ma-inverse. Ano? So, vertical asymptote for logarithmic function. Pero may mga cases naman wherein hindi naka-indicate yung base natin. For example, f of x equals, kunyari, let me erase. Using ko yung pagkakasulat. F of x equals logarithm of, sabi natin, q. Okay, so walang nakalagay na number here. So actually, it is implied na ang base natin would be 10. So this is equal to the logarithm of q, okay, with 10 as our base. Or pwede rin siyang tawagin as the natural logarithm of q. Okay, so ln q. So last type of function, we have the piecewise function. A piecewise function is a function with more than one formula or condition. It is also called a compound function with multiple sub-functions. Its graph depends on the given functions. Example ng mga piecewise function natin ay ito po. Okay? So f of x equals, so meron tayong sineset na conditions. So basically sa piecewise function, makakakita ka dito ng mga inequality. Okay, inequality relationships between values. So example, the value of your y or f of x is 2 if x is greater than -4, or -5 if x is less than -4. Okay, so this is one example of piecewise function. So kaya siya tinawag na piecewise. So by pieces yung magiging outcome niya depende dun sa condition for your x. And of course, yung graph natin would be different, okay, from each piecewise function. Okay, so those are the 9 types of functions. So hopefully, you were able to at least siguro memorize or familiarize those functions. Okay, so meron tayong 9. So let's now proceed to topic 2, identifying domain and range of functions. So ito medyo, of course, kailangan ng careful thinking din and analysis. Kasi dito we need to identify ano ba yung mga boundaries, okay, ng x values and then ng y values mo, depende dun sa given na function. Okay. So again, sabi ko kanina, pag sinabi nating domain, these are set of, or it is the set of real numbers or of all real numbers which makes the function defined. And then for range, these are the set of all output values or y values of a function after the domain is substituted. So ang range po, nakabase lang din naman sa magiging domain natin. So example, find the domain in range of f of x equals x plus 3. So in this case, para makuha mo yung domain, you need to think of real numbers. okay, that you can substitute for x in this function. Okay, so dapat ang magiging result is, of course, yung magiging result ito is your range. Okay, so dapat ang criteria lang natin ay lahat ng numbers ay dapat na real at hindi imaginary. Okay? So, ano po ba yung pwedeng maging value ng x natin for in this example? So, we have x plus 3. So, technically, we can input value which is negative, right? So, f of x equals negative 100, for example, plus 3. F of x equals negative 97. So, meron tayong real number as well, which is negative 97. So, negative integer. Pwede rin naman yung 0, di ba? So, f of x equals 0 plus 3. F of x equals 3. Or we can also input or substitute a positive integer for x, like 2, right? So, f of x equals 5. So, possible yung lahat ng nasa real number system natin. So, therefore, our domain are all real numbers. Okay? So, we can use notation for representing our domain and range. So, we use this notation, okay, open and close parenthesis for infinities. So, for the domain, we have negative infinity for sa left part ng ating number line. Okay? And then, positive infinity for the right part ng ating number line. So, kaya drawing mo kasi siya sa sa number line natin. Okay. Ako hindi strict yung pagka-drawing ng line. Yan. Okay? So, yung set of x values natin, okay, so siguro I'll use a different color. Ayan. So, ang domain natin is, for example, this is your 0, okay, or the origin. So, ang domain natin ay set of negative x values and set of positive x values. So, negative infinity and then positive infinity. And of course, inclusive of your 0. Okay? Now, for range, so sa range naman natin, actually ganun din. So, we have negative and positive infinities or all real numbers for range. I hope it's clear for everyone, no? Yung pag-identify ng domain and range. Okay. Let's have another example. Find the domain and range of f of x equals the square root of x plus 4. So sabi dito, to find the domain, so the radicand must be positive. So dapat ang magiging result ng radicand ay positive. Kasi kapag, example, we have for example, we have the square root of negative 1. This one is actually equal to I. Or tinatawag natin siyang imaginary. Imaginary number, which is actually useful in forming complex numbers, pero hindi ito dapat kasama sa pag-identify. So sa domain, dapat lahat lang ay real numbers. Okay? So, para ma-set mo na ang radicand mo ay positive, so you must express it as an inequality or equality. So the square root of x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so para hindi siya dapat hindi mo siya equal sa negative value. And then you solve for the value of x. Okay? So, para mawala yung square root sign, use square root both sides. So, magiging x plus 4 na lang and then greater than or equal to the square of 0. Ayan. So, x is greater than or lesser or equal to -4. Okay, x is greater than or equal to -4. So, ibig sabihin dito, meron tayong um, nakaset na boundary for x. So, sabi dito, yung x ay dapat na mas malaki, okay, greater than or equal sa -4. So, that's why we use this interval notation. So, to indicate boundary wherein yung number na yon ay inclusive dun sa boundary na yon, so we use actually bracket. Okay? Square bracket or bracket. -4 and then positive infinity. So, all real numbers that is greater than -4. Okay? So, nasa positive yon. So, sa number line natin, kung i-represent natin siya sa number line, ganito siya. So, this is your 0. And ito yung -4 mo. Example. So, ang domain mo would be kasama yung -4 and then papunta dun sa right. Okay, so that is your domain. So, tanong, pwede ba yung -5? Is it part of the domain? -5, -6, so on and so forth. So, hindi siya kasama sa domain ng function na f of x equals the square root of x plus 4. Okay? Now, for range, to identify or determine the range, we substitute the lowest possible value of the domain. Since alam na natin na yung hangganan lang sa left side is -4, so yun yung gagamitin natin to find the range. So substitute the lowest possible value of the domain. So y equals the square root of x plus 4, which is equal to the square root of -4 plus 4, then y is equal to 0. So sa y, ang interval notation natin ay, okay, bracket, 0, and then positive infinity. So sa number line naman, if we're going to represent it sa number line, so since it's y, so dapat vertical line tayo. So this is your 0, the origin. So ang interval natin ay from 0 going to the positive infinity. I guess you could use. So inclusive of 0. So kasama yung 0. And then, punta doon sa taas. So positive ito ay negative. Same with this one, positive ito ay negative. Okay? So set of y values na positive. Right? So that is for example 2. What about example 3? Find the domain and range of f of x equals x minus 10 over 3. So here, to find for the domain, the denominator must never be equal to 0. So here, as you can see here, the denominator is a constant value 3. So hindi talaga siya magiging 0. So in this case, there will be no restrictions, no boundary for the domain. So thus the domain is the set of all real numbers. So in interval notation, so we use this symbol. So negative infinity, including the positive infinity, set of all real numbers. Okay? Now to find for the range, so find the domain of its inverse function. So kukunin mo yung inverse function nito. So paano ba kinukuha ang inverse function? So para makuha mo yung inverse function, kailangan mong pagpalitin yung x and y. Kaya siya tinawag na inverse. So y, so yung f of x gawin natin siyang y. So y equals x minus 10 over 3. So pagpalitin natin yung values. Yung y gagawin natin x, yung x gagawin natin siyang y. So magiging siyang x equals y minus 10 over 3. and then you solve for the value of y. Okay. So siguro I'll use green. So 3x equals y minus 10. So 3x plus 10 equals y. So ito na yung magiging inverse function natin. Or pwede natin siyang i-represent as f negative 1 x or f of x raised to negative 1 equals 3x plus 10. So that's how we obtain the inverse function. So here, based sa inverse function natin, it's a linear function, so there will be no restrictions sa range since sa domain wala din namang restrictions. So the range of the function is the set of all real numbers. Okay? Okay, let's have example form. So I guess kayo naman ang magde-determine. So find the domain in range of g of x equals x squared minus 4. Okay, so you may type in your answer in the chat box. Okay, so what would be the domain and range for example 4? Okay, so let's solve. Okay, so while waiting for your responses, okay, so ano kayo magiging domain ng x squared minus 4? So do you think there will be restrictions or boundary for the domain? So sige, mag-try tayo ng mga test values. So let's say we have g of x equals, let's say, negative 1/2 minus 4. So ano yung magiging result niya? Okay, so magiging 1/4 minus 4 equals, ilan na to? 1 minus 16 over 4 or negative 15. Negative 15 over 4. Okay, so we use negative 1/2 which is a real number. Okay? Paano kapag 0? So g of x equals 0 squared minus 4, negative 4. Okay? Kapag positive, kasi para maging consistent tayo sa notation, maybe I could use na lang din yung ano. So palitan natin to ng 0. Ito ay negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. So g, let's say 3. So 3 squared minus 4. So 9 minus 4. So g of 3 equals 5. So papansin natin no, kung if we're going to increase the values of x and positively or negatively, so it will also give us a set of real numbers for the range. Okay? Pero may mga conditions pa rin, no? Kasi iba yung ating equation. So meron tayong minus 4. Right? So actually nandito na yung graph sa right to give us an idea about what could be the possible domain and range. So let me erase this first. So what do you think is the domain kung wala naman palang restriction sa domain natin? Okay, so may nakasagot na po ba? Okay, according to April John, the domain is negative and positive infinity. So actually that's correct. Okay? So your domain is negative infinity and then positive infinity. Now what about the range? Okay, so sa quadratic equation natin, 'di ba, may nakalagay dito, naka-minus 4 siya. X squared minus 4. So here, we actually has a vertex. So meron tayong vertex dito sa equation natin, which is located sa -4. Kasi kapag ang value ng x ay 0, our g of x is -4. So meron tayong boundary, meron tayong restriction for the range, and inclusive of your -4. So the range would be, since inclusive yung -4, kasama siya, so we use square bracket, -4, and then upwards. So positive, going positive. So positive, infinity. Okay, may nakakuha ba? Ayun, so si April dyan din nakakuha. So very good. So tama yung sagot niya. So ganun po yung pagkuha natin ng domain and range. Okay, next example. Find the domain and range of h of x equals 1 over x minus 3. Okay, paano naman ito? Again, kung babalikan natin yung sa rational function natin, yung condition na sinet natin doon is that the denominator, okay, must not be equal to 0. So, kung ganun yung condition natin or case natin, therefore, we need to set restriction for our domain. Okay? So, ano yung pwede natin maging value ng x na kung saan kapag sinubstitute natin siya dito sa function, hindi magiging 0 yung denominator natin. Okay, the domain must not be equal to 0. Kasi nga, try nga natin. Kung yung x value natin ay x is not equal to 3 pala. Okay, binago ni April. Sorry. It's okay, it's okay. So at least na-realize natin agad. Okay, so dapat hindi siya equal to 3 cos. Pero try natin yung pinakauna munang sinagot. So, h of x equals 1 over, sige, sorry. Palitan natin to ng 0. So, h of 0 equals 1 over 0 minus 3. So, h of 0 equals 0 minus 3 is 1/3. So, okay pa yung 0. Diba? Kasi meron tayong denominator na 3. Pero kapag, let's say 3, diba? 3 yung x value natin. So, 1 over 3 minus 3. So, h of 3 is equal to 1 over 0. So, ito, na-violate niya na yung condition natin for rational function. So, in this case, hindi tayo pwede magkaroon ng value na 3 for our function. So, what would be the domain kung ganun yung case natin? Okay? So, to get the domain, so, x, so x must not be equal to 3. Or pwede mo rin siyang express na all real numbers except 3. Okay? So, or you may also use the notation. Ayan, so may binigay na silang ayun, yung union. Okay, the union of data sets natin. Okay, so to express it in the interval notation, okay, so we have negative infinity, ibig sabihin lahat ng negative values, okay, or lahat ng values na nasa left, okay, ng 3. Exclusive, hindi kasama yung 3. Okay, so lalagay tayo ng 3 dito. So we use parenthesis to indicate na hindi kasama yung 3 dun sa domain natin. And then we use U, okay, meaning union. Okay, kasi kasama siya dun sa domain. And 3, and then positive infinity. Okay, that's correct. Okay, tama yung sagot nyo. So sa number line natin, paano yung magiging itsura niya sa number line? So, let's say ito yon. So, of course, we have here 0, para lang meron tayong origin. And then we have 3. So nandito yung 3 kasi positive. Sige, gamit tayo ng. So sa number line natin, so instead of solid na dot, so ano siya? Hollow. Okay, hollow yung gagamitin natin to indicate na hindi kasama yung 3. And then, arrow going to the left and then right. So to indicate negative infinity and then positive infinity. Okay, I hope it's clear for everyone. Do you have any questions, by the way? So nasa domain pa lang tayo nung function na to. What about the range? Okay, so paano pag range naman yung pinag-uusapan? The range is 0. Okay. So kung hindi tayo pwedeng mag-input ng 3 dun sa function, kasi magiging undefined yung function natin kasi meron tayong zero denominator. So dapat yung values na ilalagay natin ay less than 3 or greater than 3. Or since nakaset na yung restriction natin about rational function wherein the y values must not be equal to, or the denominator must not be equal to 0, so we can say that the range, okay, includes negative infinity and then dapat hindi siya 0. Okay, union of data set 0, positive, infinity. Ayun, so tama yung sagot ni April John. Okay, so hindi kasama yung 0. So sa range natin, if we're going to draw the number line, siguro green na lang gagamitin ko. So, let's draw the number line. So ito yung 0 natin. So hollow. And then arrows. So negative infinity and then positive infinity. Okay po. So yan ang magiging set of values natin for our domain and range. I hope it's clear for everyone. Another example. Okay, find the domain and range of p of x equals the square root of x plus 5. Okay, anyone? Okay, so paano natin i-approach tong problem? Okay, so again, dapat ang radicand natin ay laging positive. Okay? So we can set this one. So that's the square root of x plus 5 should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay? And then square both sides of the equation of the inequality rather. So 0, para mawala yung radical symbol. So x plus 5 greater than or equal to 0. So x must be what? X must be greater than or equal to negative 5. Medyo umuulan na. And I hope medyo hindi niyo naman naririnig yung yung ulan. Yan, sorry po if naririnig niyo. Okay. So meron ng nakaset na restriction. Yung x value dapat natin ay greater than greater than or equal to negative 5. So your domain would be, okay, so since equal to negative 5 din siya, so inclusive of negative 5. So we use bracket, negative 5, and then, may sumagot po ba? Okay. Okay, that's correct. So positive infinity. Ayan. What about the range? So you substitute the least possible number for x. So which is -5. So try natin ilagay. So p -5 equals the square root of -5 plus 5, the square root of 0. So p -5 equals 0. So or y is equal to 0. So meaning ito yung yung limitation. Ito yung yung boundary niya in terms of y. So ano yung magiging range natin? So square bracket 0 and then positive infinity. Ayun, so tama ba yung sagot niyo? Okay, tama yung sagot ni Rufaida. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Okay? And si April John. Wow, consistent tong mga tao. Tama yung sagot. Very good. Okay. So sa number line, maybe I could also draw. So for domain, so you have 0 here, you have -5. So inclusive of -5, so dapat ano siya, solid. May solid siya na dot and then going to the right. For range naman, vertical, so you have 0 here. So inclusive of 0, so positive infinity. Ayan. So ganun po yung magiging domain in range. For example, 6. Next, let's have another example. Find the domain in range of k of x equals 2 raised to x plus 1. Ano po yung right name po, sir? Ano po yung right name? Sorry. I hope. Do you have any questions po ba? Or ayan. Okay, what about example 7? Okay, so what would be the domain in range? So here, x as our exponent, so we can actually substitute any x values as long as it's a real number. So pwedeng positive integer, pwede rin na 0, or pwede rin na negative values. So k, d, or for our domain, so do we have a restriction here? Meron po ba tayong restriction sa domain? Okay, 5 ba yung restriction? Tama yung pronunciation. Okay po, sige. Thank you sa pag-clarify. Akala ko po may question. 5. Dito, so pag naglagay tayo dito ng 5, 2 raised to 5, real number naman yung range. Kapag naglagay tayo dito ng 0, 2 raised to 0 is equal to 1, right? So 1 plus 1, 2. So okay naman. Kapag negative integer naman or negative exponent, example, 2 raised to -6 or -3/4. So may ano pa rin naman siya, may real number pa rin naman. Sa graph ka nakatingin. Yeah, so actually sa graph natin, since this is an exponential function, meron tayong horizontal asymptote, no? Yung horizontal asymptote natin dito, although hindi kasi siya implicitly nakalagay, so ito yung 1 natin. So ang horizontal asymptote niya ay nasa 1. Okay? Okay. So ano yung magiging domain natin? We're talking about set of x values. So in this case, okay, wala tayong restriction for domain. So negative infinity and then positive infinity. Now what about the range? Okay. Okay, sa range, magkakaroon na tayo ng restriction. Since we have, in this expression, we have positive 1. So siya yung nagsiset nung parang starting point ng value. Kasi kapag ang x value natin ay 0, we still have a value of 1 for our k of x, right? So, sa graph, that's why makikita nyo sa graph, di ba, meron tayong horizontal asymptote na nasa 1. Okay? So therefore, what would be the range? Okay, so that's correct. So, since pag sinabi nating asymptote, di ba? Ano bang definition natin ng asymptote? Kung sa ano daw, kung sa pag-ibig daw, parang ano, ah, parang ano lang siya na pinagtagpo, pero di tinadhana, parang gano'n. Hindi talaga sila magmi-meet. Ayun, okay. So, parang getting closer, but never reaching, parang gano'n. Getting closer but never reaching. So those are asymptotes. So getting closer lang sila sa 1 pero not reaching the exact 1 value. Ayan. So 1 and then positive infinity. So that would be the range of your function. Yan, di pinagtagpo. Okay. Ayan. So I hope nakukuha po or nagigets po yung ating topic for domain and range. So are we still good? Can you hit a thumbs up siguro? Or any reaction from our participants? Ayan, mag-thumbs up. What about the others? Ayan. Okay, I hope na naunawaan naman po. Okay. I guess we can have the last example. Example 8. Find the domain and range of s of x equals logarithm of x. Okay, what about this one? Ayan, sorry. May I know if nakikita niyo yung slide ko po for example 8? Just to check lang kasi parang hindi nakikita ata. Can you see the example 8? Okay, sige. Okay, so ano yung magiging domain natin? Okay? Ayan, tingnan natin yung mga responses. Okay, according to April John, the domain is 0, positive, infinity. Okay, because in logarithmic function, di ba? The set of x values must be strictly positive, or x must be greater than 0. Okay? Kasi ano bang magiging result kapag we take the logarithm of 0? Sige, try natin sa calculator. You may also try in your calculator. What is the logarithm of 0? So actually nag-error siya, no? Parameters out of range daw. So we cannot really define kung ano ang magiging logarithm of 0. So x is strictly positive. So as you can see here in our graph, meron tayong vertical asymptote. Okay? With 0 as our reference. Therefore, our domain would be, okay, so 0, I mean, hindi kasama yung 0, and then positive infinity. That's why we use parentheses. No? Okay? Now for range. Paano naman yung range? So sa range, no restriction. So negative infinity and then positive infinity. Okay, kasi pwede siyang negative, pwedeng zero, pwede rin na positive. Alright, thank you very much po sa inyong participation. Ayan, nakikita ko yung mga responses niyo. Alright, so we're done with the domain in range. I hope na nakuha po natin yung kailangan na acquire na knowledge for that. Let's now proceed to the evaluation of functions. So here we're going to, of course, perform operations, mathematical operations, and kasama na dito yung composition of functions. So sa pag-evaluate ng functions, so actually we always follow the law of substitution. Okay? So if a plus x equals b and x is equal to c, then a plus c equals b. So we simply substitute c to x. So actually dun sa course site natin, actually there are plenty of examples there. So marami pong examples doon. So maybe I could give na lang yung sa akin na lang na example. So let's say we have sige, f of x equals, ang gawin natin medyo ano, sige, linear na lang muna, linear. Sige, 4x plus 7. Yes, for example, we have a linear function 4x plus 7. And then, siguro let's have another, sige, yan na muna. Para madali lang. So what is the value of, let's say, f of 3/4? Okay, what is the value of f of negative 3/5? So medyo nagka-function tayo. Ay, nagka-function, nagka-fraction. Okay. So f of 3/4. So meaning, the x value is 3/4. So you will just substitute, diba, sa ating function. So f of x or f of 3/4 equals 4 times 3/4 plus 7. So you may simplify this one, maging 1. So 3 plus 7 equals 10. For negative 3/5 naman, so f of negative 3/5 rather, equals 4 times negative 3/5 plus 7. So negative 12/5 plus 7 equals, so ilan po ito? Negative 12 is 35/5. So that would be 323/5. So ganun lang po sa pag-evaluate ng functions. You will just substitute the value for x. So again, this is applicable to any mathematical operations, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or quotient, okay, or division. Same din with composition of functions. So ganun lang po. Ito yung pinaka-basic lang na example na binigay ko. Maybe we could have another example. Okay. Okay, let's say let's make it a little bit complex lang. Okay, let's say your function is f of x equals 3x squared plus 4x plus 2. Okay? So what is the value of f of, let's say, 5y? Hindi, 5y. 5, ano na lang. We don't use y na lang. 5a. What is f of 5a? O kaya naman f of negative 2b. Ayan. Ano magiging result? What is f of 5a or f of negative 2b? So just substitute the value. So f of 5a equals 3 times 5a squared plus 4 times 5a plus 2. Okay? So 3 times the square of 5a, that would be 25a squared plus 4 times 5a, that would be 20a plus 2. So 25 times 3, that would be 75a squared plus 20a plus 2. So ito yung magiging sagot natin for this one. So f of 5a equals 75a squared plus 20a plus 2. Okay? Paano naman kapag negative 2b? So f of negative 2b equals 3 times negative 2b squared plus 4 times negative 2b plus 2. Okay? Which is equal to, so ilan na kaya? So this will become 4b squared. So 12b squared plus 4 times negative 2b. So negative 8b. So magiging minus 8b plus 2. Okay? So I hope it's clear for everyone yung pag-evaluate natin ng functions. Any questions? Okay, before we proceed to uh, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and quotient. Okay, I guess wala namang questions. Sige, proceed tayo sa next. I guess this is the last topic for Module 6. Okay, operations on functions. Okay, so dito nilagay ko na lang lahat, no? So let f and g be functions defined at a real number. Pwede naman po, sir. Sige, kung para medyo magkaroon tayo ng siguro 5-minute breather lang so that may process ng ating mga participants yung mga na-discuss earlier. Sige po, we can have a 5-minute break po. So let's go back. So let's be back na lang po by ayan. So I hope nakikita niyo po yung nasa screen. Ayan. Alright, so we will perform operations, mathematical operations for functions, starting with addition. So ito po yung given natin ng mga functions. We have f of x, which is equal to 3x plus 4, and then g of x, which is equal to 2x plus 3. So what would be the result of adding these functions? So we need to find f plus g of x. So medyo simple lang po yung example natin dito. But of course, hindi lang po siya limited for linear function. You may also apply this to other types of functions. Okay, because in the interest of time, so medyo I just make it simple po. Okay, so f is equal to f of x plus g of x. So 3x plus 4, okay, plus 2x plus 3. So nag-substitute lang tayo ng value for f of x and g of x. And then combine like terms, meaning dapat magkakasama yung, or you add or you combine yung magkakaparehas yung variables. So 3x plus 2x equals 5x plus 4 plus 3, we have 7. So this is the result or outcome, okay, for f plus g of x. I hope you got the same answer. Okay, 5x plus 7. What about subtraction? Okay, so same lang din po sa subtraction. Okay, so you need to distribute as well yung x natin. So f of x minus g of x. Okay, so 3x plus 4. By the way, importante din pala yung paglalagay ng parentheses. So dito kasi hindi ako naglagay ng parentheses. Ayan. So, pwede kayo maglagay dito ng parentheses to indicate the groupings. No? So, ayan. So, ganun din po dito. So, 3x plus 4 minus, okay, minus g of x 2x plus 3. Yan. So dito okay, we need to distribute the signs since naka-grouping siya. Yung minus sign natin or yung sa subtraction should be distributed to each term in the g of x. So, alisin na natin yung mga parentheses. So, the resulting expression would be 3x plus 4, okay, minus 2x minus 3. So, yung negative po dito, na-distribute yun sa kada term. Okay? And then combine like terms. So, 3x minus 2x, that would be x. And then positive 4 minus 3 or negative 3, that would be 1. Okay? So, ito po yung answer natin. So, x plus 1. Okay? Clear po ba? May tanong po ba tayo? Okay. Okay, thank you very much sa response. So, tama po yun yung sagot nyo. Okay, so x plus 1. Next. What about multiplication? So, for multiplication, so f of x times g of x. So, you may use this notation or pwede rin naman po na parenthesis. Okay? So, 3x plus 4 times 2x plus 3. Okay, so what would be the result? So 6x squared. Okay, so isa-isahin mo natin. 6x squared, so 3x times 2x, 6x squared. 3x times 3, that would be 9x. Then 4 times 2x, that is 8x. And then 4 times 3, that would be 12. Then combine like terms. So 6x squared plus 17x plus 12. Same ba yung sagot nyo? Okay, parehas. Right. Next, we have division. So pag division, so f of x over g of x equals, okay, so 3x plus 4 over 2x plus 3. Is there a way for us to further simplify the expression? So I guess ito na yung final answer. Okay? So that is for division. Now, for composition naman, okay, paano yung composition? So, F, okay, F of G of X. Ayan. So yung G of X, yung magiging X value ng iyong F of X. So, F times, or sorry, F 2x plus 3, okay, equals 3 times 2x plus 3 plus 4. Okay? Okay, which is equal to, so distribute natin, so 6x plus 9 plus 4 equals 6x plus 13. So that would be the answer. Okay, so that's correct. So ganun lang po sa um, operations on functions. Okay, any questions? Clarifications po? Okay, wala naman po. So I only have 11 minutes. We're done with module 6. No. So proceed na tayo sa module 7. So kung in case po na hindi po natin siya matapos agad, so maybe we could continue with our discussion for module 7. So for module 7, we have data analysis, statistics, and probability. Okay. So let's start with the learning objectives for this module. So at the end of this session, you must be able to identify quantitative and qualitative data, differentiate the levels of measurements, identify discrete and continuous data, solve problems in measures of central tendency, measures of variability, and measures of position. And then you're going to properly utilize different types of graph. So dapat ano ba yung appropriate graph? Depende dun sa data na meron tayo. So mag-move na tayo now from algebra, proceed tayo sa statistics, okay, or data analysis. So let's start with the topic 1, okay, so introductory concepts on statistics. So pag sinabi natin statistics, it is a branch of mathematics that deals with the collection, organization, analysis, and interpretation of data for the purpose of concluding, for giving inferences or insights, for predicting or for identifying the trends. Okay, so yun ang purpose ng statistics. So which could give, of course, insights about, mga useful information that could help in decision making, di ba? So usually yan ang purpose talaga ng statistics, especially sa work, di ba? Or even sa research, Okay. So in conducting statistical research, here are the steps. So we need to define our problem. Okay, so dapat meron tayong problems. Ano ba yung goal? Ano ba yung objective? And then we need to collect our data, organize, analyze, interpret, and draw conclusions. Okay, so actually, ito naman yung talaga yung sinusunod na steps in conducting quali or quantitative research. Okay? So dapat meron tayong skills on how to do data collection, okay, pag-organize ng data. So dito sa module natin, mostly naka-focus lang siya doon sa pag-organize, pag-analyze, and interpretation, okay, of data. Okay? Kasi sa data collection, kasama na din dyan yung data management. Okay? So dapat may idea na kayo about it, okay, sa data collection. So statistics, there are two branches. We have descriptive and inferential statistics. Sa descriptive statistics, so kasama dyan yung pag-summarize and pag-organize ng main characteristics ng dataset natin. So that's why the term is descriptive. So ang pag-describe natin could be pwede siyang adjectival. Okay, so meaning you use adjectives, diba? Based on the numbers or numerical or categorical descriptors ng iyong dataset. Example, mass. So mass, pwede mo siyang i-describe as heavy, di ba? O kaya naman light, di ba? Ganon. So, depending on the statistic. So, height is also another example of descriptive statistic. Age, gender, religion, civil status. So, ito yung mga sample parameters, di ba, for descriptive statistics. So, meron tong mga it could be numbers such as mass, height, and age, or pwede siyang categories like gender, religion, and civil status. For inferential statistics, it uses the result of descriptive statistics to draw conclusions. So that's why tinatawag siyang inferential, to draw inferences, to predict, to forecast, to estimate, or to correlate. Okay? So basically sa inferential, commonly ginagawa dito is we compare the means of datasets, no? Especially kapag gusto nating i-correlate yung ating mga dataset, and to, of course, to know the trend, so by using regression, for example. So kasama yun sa inferential statistics. Now let's talk about data since nababanggit natin yung about sa dataset. So data is a collection of information or facts gathered from any form of research. So ang data po ay pwede din siyang qualitative or quantitative. So pag sabing quali, these are non-numerical information or data. So represented by words or symbols. So saan ba usually nakakuha ng qualitative data? So usually mga spoken information or written. So more on words, 'di ba? So that is quali. So pwede mo siyang ma-collect by conducting interview o kaya naman journaling or even in focus group discussion wherein you are trying to collect the insights, the collective insights of your respondents or participants. So that's part of your quali. Now for quantitative, it consists of numbers to describe measurements or counts. So numerical. Okay, may numbers, may measurements. Kasama din dito yung pag-consider ng errors, 'di ba? Okay, so that's part of the quantitative data. Na meron tayong 4 levels of measurement or data. Okay, so we have the first two, we have nominal and ordinal level. So pag sinabing nominal, so this includes names, labels, and categories. Pero again, ang nominal ay hindi mo siya pwedeng i-rank. So you may categorize them but you cannot rank them. So example, yung mga names natin, di ba? Our gender, if it's male, female, or part of the LGBT, same levels lang. Okay? So there's no order. We cannot say that male is first compared to the female. So we cannot say na first ang male and then female. Diba sa kasabihan, di ba? Ano daw, parang ladies first. Pero hindi yan. So nominal level, dapat walang order. Okay, we cannot rank them. Even sa civil status, we cannot say na greater or favorable kapag married or pag may partner compare sa single. Do you agree ba? Do you agree to that idea? Or nanlalamang ba yung may mga relationship in terms of civil status? But still, nominal level, same standing sila. So we cannot rank them. Even sa religious affiliation, sa Catholics and the Islam, and even other religions, so same standing. So we cannot rank them. For ordinal level, so ito naman in contrary sa nominal, pag ordinal naman, so we can categorize as well as rank them. Sorry. It should be shirt sizes. Sorry. Na typo error lang po. Pasensya na po ha. Okay, shirt sizes. Ayan, pasensya na po. So pwedeng so small, medium, large, extra large. So meron siyang category and you may also rank them. So okay, academic rank, di ba? Or kaya naman grade level, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, 4, 5. O kaya sa academic rank pwedeng teacher 1, teacher 2, teacher 3, principal 1, 2, 3. So that is ordinal level. So may order, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Ayan, ordinal. Then we also have interval level. So sa interval level, there is no true 0 point. So meaning, kapag sa dataset mo meron kang 0, it doesn't have any meaning. Sorry, a 0 value pala has a meaning, sorry. Has a meaning or interpretation. I'm so sorry with the definition. So dito sa interval pala meron tayo non-real 0 point pero ang 0 value ay may meaning pa rin or interpretation. So it can be categorized or ranked. Example, temperature. So pag 0 degree Celsius, meron tayong meaning for that. So that